Hello and happy Valentine's Day, people, from Sexy Astrology. Welcome to Sexy Astrology for February 2019. Yeah. Okay, so in the stratosphere out there, we have a lot of an effect of Jupiter in Sagittarius, and I just want to give a shout out to Sagittarius for being the most generous and kind. Sadly, Jupiter in Sagittarius can also be really judgmental, and many of you might know Sagittarians that are operating out there in the public sphere, either people with the moon in Sagittarius or the sun, moon, Venus, Mars, and they're very influential people in general, but right now especially because Jupiter is in its home sign of Sagittarius, and in many ways it's eclipsing all the other stuff out there with, like, say, Pluto in Capricorn is kind of taking a back seat this month. And even though Neptune is in its home sign of Pisces, Pisces and Sagittarius are both super party animals. Pisces might OD on drugs, and Sagittarius will stay up all night talking your ear off about politics. And so they have their head kind of screwed on straight and moving forward. The only caveat is that possibly people with a lot of Sagittarius could be, being a little bit overbearing and, I know I'm right. And it's like, man, if you think you're right and you're really getting a lot of opposition, write about it. Sagittarians are also brilliant writers. Venus is in Sagittarius this month and moving into Capricorn, so it's a good time to put your money where your mouth is. It's the month of cultivating whole world peace, and down with greed. And as well, would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? I could really spend a lot of time on that. Anyway, here now your horoscope. Yes, so I could even go out further on a stretch and say it's also the month of choosing your battles. And would you rather be happy or right? Let me just say one thing about that. Sometimes protecting your enormous ego is not worth it, and it is so much better to just let shit go and be happy in line with the common good. I mean, our planet's in danger. People are getting killed by the police. There's still a lot of starvation and obesity. I guess I'm mostly talking about America, but the bottom line is like, focus on what you want to accomplish in this world, and focus on overlapping ideas and finding commonality with people. That is the hallmark of Jupiter in Sagittarius. Finding common ground with your people. Because if we're really going to help heal the planet, how are we going to do it if people are like splitting hairs over, hey, you know what? I think there's too much polyester in that sweater, or whatever, splitting hairs over nothing. And so for Aquarians in particular, their fantasy is for us to do well and for everybody to get along and to everybody have enough food and health care and a place to live that's not crazy expensive. So this is a good time for them to really be nourished by Jupiter in Sagittarius. Here, now, your horoscope. That it's true, too, that Saturn is also in its home sign of Capricorn. So with that many planets that are kind of the outer planets or the generational planets, Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter is kind of an outer planet. It's good news because the world does have a chance to move forward easily and slowly and organically. Whenever a planet finds itself in its home sign, the things that rule the sign and the planet can come together and merge quite nicely. Like Saturn rules structure and Capricorn rules the father, money, good business. On the dark side, it also rules manipulation, but hopefully that'll be fettered out by the desire to be honest. And, enough people are encouraged to be in an open, loving heart space and be honest. We have a chance. And Sagittarius and Jupiter can eclipse, both Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Capricorn by way of its true nature is that of honesty and total freedom. And they are the freedom fighter of the zodiac. So right now we're in a very beneficial moment. If there's something that you have in your heart that you want to do that is good for the world, that will help the world in any way, like figuring out how to not send all the cardboard in the world to China so that it can be recycled there. We need to figure that one out. Move towards that end, and I bet you anything you'll come up with a solution. We will be amazed before we are halfway through.